Hey everybody. So today what I want to do is talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's practicing. I know that's kind of a word that everybody, gets scared of and everything, but it really shouldn't be. Practicing, doesn't need to be a big chore or anything. It can be working on things you enjoy and have fun with. Um, but I want to the main thing here is I want to make sure that everybody understands how important picking up your guitar is. Um, Whether it's like you taking lessons and then picking up between, or you just picking up the guitar on a regular basis. Um, One of the first I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over like some of the things I hear from students, as reasons why they're not really practicing much, and then I'm gonna go over the consequences, and then tell you what you really should be doing. So first off is, um, yeah, I hear all kinds of excuses from why not able to get practice in, from stuff like teens saying that I got too much homework to do. I got sports and everything. And it's hard to get in practice. To adults saying that I've just got all kinds of things going on. This is not a priority. I just doing this for enjoyment. This is just a escape, and I just got the kids running around. There's just so much stuff going on. Um, to just about every kind of excuse you can imagine, you hear. And not saying that some of these are not legitimate things, but the real simple fact is if you did not pick up your guitar, you're not going to get better at it. It is just no two ways around it. You can't just just go to like a take some lessons, go to your lesson, and they do nothing in between, or you once in a while go on YouTube. Well, I learned this cool thing, and then you don't pick it up again for another week or two or something. That's never going to work. You're just never gonna get any better. And basically, what happens? I'm going to kind of steer this towards since I teach lessons, I'm going to kind of take it on that kind of point of view. So let's say you're taking lessons from somebody. They give you all kinds of assignments to do. You go home and you don't do anything, between, or maybe you pick it up one day or something. Well, you do that one week, and everybody has, bad weeks. But you do that one week, next week comes along, then you didn't really do much anything, so now you got to basically review what you already reviewed then, the week before, because you can't move forwards because you haven't really worked on anything. Next week, you practice one day, or maybe two, or zero again. Following week, guess what? Still can't move forwards because you have not worked on anything and you have not improved on anything. So you can't move forward. So it's another week of kind of the same stuff. And what happens as far as within the lessons themselves, yeah, you're starting to get bored because you have to go over the same stuff over and over again. You can't magically jump to another brand new thing if you haven't already worked on this stuff before. If you're working on a song, you can't go jump over to a whole nother part if you don't even have that first part down, at least to a certain level. It's good to work on a couple different parts, but yeah, it's just not going to work. So within the lessons themselves, you're going to get discouraged because just doing the same stuff over and over again. Even if you kind of switch the approach, you're going to get tired of working on the same material. And it's not going to do you any good if, like, all right, you get tired of working this, you start working on that. You're not practicing, not getting anything done with that. get tired of that, then you jump over to here, and you jump over to here, and you're jumping all over. A year goes by, and you're no better than when you started. So that's one aspect of it. The other thing is, if you're not practicing at home, then what happens is, again, you're not making any improvement at all. You're not getting any better. You're not moving forwards. And what's worse is anything that you work on, that's going to decrease. Like sometimes I'll have some students will be doing good for a while, and then something will happen in life, as it usually does, and they get distracted, and then their practice sinks down. Now I try to always address this with students, to try to get it back up, because I know how important practice is. But if that continues on, what happens is not only are you not moving forwards, which is really, really taking a toll on your enthusiasm and your willingness to kind of push forward, but all that other stuff that you were playing before, that you were able to play, some of these songs that were really you had pretty good. Yeah, the quality of that is starting to go down, and then pretty soon you're making all kinds of mistakes, and what the heck, I was playing this perfectly, the last month, and then all of a sudden you're decreasing, your productivity in that, and your skills are just going downwards, and so you're not moving forwards. You're not all the stuff you knew before, you're getting pretty rusty at. And then when that happens, you're getting even more discouraged. And then what do you think happens then? Boom. That guitar is going to sit in its stand or in the its case, because you have no motivation to work on it. You're already tired or distracted or whatever. And then that on top of it, you're even less likely, to do that. And then if you're taking lessons, usually what's going to happen is that not long after that, you're eventually going to quit. And then of course, once you do that, you forget about you actually picking up the guitar after that. Then, months can go by before you touch it. You have you're not held accountable, like your teacher asking you what's going on. Now you're free to do whatever you want, so it's more easier to lay back, watch TV, take a nap, do everything else, aside from that. So that's what happens. That's just the reality of what's going to happen if you don't actually practice. Now, as far as priorities, you have obviously playing guitar for many of you is not a top priority, but you got to keep in mind, if you're constantly putting everything above, your priority, on the totem pole, putting everything above practice on your totem pole, that's what I meant to say, then you practice way down there in the bottom. Guess what's going to happen? More and more stuff's going to keep coming in, and that's going to stay at the bottom, and that practice is not going to get done. So what you need to do is you got to put that a little bit more up on a priority level. Now, that doesn't mean you have to practice 2 hours a day or anything, but I'll talk about that in a second. Just put in a little bit of practice, even if it's just grabbing the guitar and then, and playing a tune. You can start out by, giving yourself even 10 minutes, even start with 10 minutes, that's it. I'm going to set aside 10 minutes every day, no matter what. You can still do all your stuff that's on your priority list, but give yourself that little bit of time to work on something. And we're not talking about, you having to do some, all kinds of chore, turn this into a chore and do the things you hate or anything. In the very beginning, focus on the song that you want to work on. It's just getting your hands on the fretboard, and you gotta dedicate yourself. You know, it's again, that's not much dedication. It's only 10 minutes, you know, to begin with. Later on, you want to build on that, um, but yeah, you gotta make that a priority, no matter what. All this week, I'm gonna practice, pick up my guitar 10 minutes each day, no matter what I do. That's the only way you're gonna actually pick up the guitar, and then first get the inspiration up, and then eventually you'll increase that practice level, and then you're going to start seeing improvement. Then that's going to um, help you get more excited and wanting to do more. And what you need to look at is you're scheduling time for doing something you enjoy doing. It's not, try not to think of it practice as a chore. It's your free time to escape. The pressures from a teen or adult, because you got all this stuff going on. You need to schedule that time. You're doing something you really enjoy. So otherwise, it's just not going to get done if you keep putting everything else before it. And all right, when I get done with that, I'm going to do it. Guess what? Most of the times, it's not getting done. And if you're in this situation right now, or this is you know very well, if you're not practicing, then you're not making it any kind of priority at all. And again, 10 minutes is not going to decrease, you getting other stuff done, like your schoolwork, your, spending time with the kids or whatever. It's again, this is the very least you should practice, but 10 minutes, it's just picking it up and just playing. As really, as time goes on, you kind of get a routine going. You really want to spend, half an hour, get away. That's what you really get into, get away from everything, and then you can actually start to get some real work done. But go at it in the beginning, just 10 minutes, each day. And that's better than saying, okay, I'm going to practice. In my studio, I have a limit. You got to practice at least 3 days out of the week. Now, that's the bare minimum. Really, you should be picking it up every day or almost every day for, again, at least 10 minutes. That's much better than cramming in a half an hour into 2 days, or half an hour 3 days. If your schedule's that crazy and that's what you need to do, then okay, but yeah, there's really not much any excuses for not being able to find 10 minutes. When you get home from school, you get home from work, you're cooking dinner, you're waiting for dinner to cook, later in the evening, you just disappear for 10, 15 minutes, before you go to bed, when you wake up, before work, before school, there's no excuses. You can find 10 minutes. And then again, from there, you kind of build up. So really, in the end of it all, if you actually want to play guitar, then you actually have to play it. You can't just have that, dream of, yeah, I want to play like this, I want to play like that. And it doesn't magically happen. Even if you just pick it up one time a week, that's not gonna cut it. You're just not gonna get any better, and after time, you're gonna get discouraged, and it's just gonna go right back into the stand or in the case, and it'll sit there, and it could be another few months, it could be a few years, it could be a few decades before you even pick it up again. Who knows? But yeah, you've got to pick it up. Give yourself small goals. You start with 10 minutes and try to do that as many times during the week as you can. And then little by little, you build it up. And then even if you build it up to an hour each day, say, and stuff in your life happens, you got to decrease it back down. Go ahead. You bring it down to a half an hour, for 5 days or something, and then if you got to bring it down more, go ahead, 20 minutes. Even go all the way back to 10 minutes again if you need to, just to kind of keep, you moving along. So you got the guitar in your hands, you're at least jamming on a cool song or something, and you're keeping that going, and then that's going to keep you just enough inspired, to keep moving along, to either pushing more to bring that practice up more, or to bring you through to a time where maybe you got a little extra time you can pour into your practice. But yeah, there's just no magic trick about all this. You've got to pick up your guitar. You're not going to magically become a great player, or even competent, or even semi-competent, by just picking it up, once a week, or once or twice every couple weeks. It's just not going to happen, and it's not going to happen too. You can't pick one day and then do a massive 3-hour session, and all of a sudden that's going to be good. Oh, I practiced 3 hours this week. Yeah, one time. It's not as much the quantity, of the time, although that has a certain amount of importance. It's the amount of days you pick it up consistently that's going to make the difference. You need to get your fingers on that fretboard, moving around. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there, because this is a really important thing, and there's too many people out there that think that, yeah, you can just say, take some lessons and magically you're going to become good, and then you don't need to do anything at home. It's not, it doesn't work that way. And neither if you go and you grab some videos off of YouTube and you mess around with it, and then you take another 5 days off and then go to YouTube again, mess around, with something else, yeah, it's just gonna be like, oh, well, I'm having fun while I'm doing it, and that's great and wonderful, but that's only gonna last for so long. When you're seeing you're not making any improvement, something else is gonna grab your attention, or you may just want to just zombie out and watch TV instead, or play video games. That's more fun for you. So, yep. So there's my little spiel on practice. Go ahead and set yourself a goal. Don't let yourself off on it. Start out by, I'm picking this, no matter what. Today, I'm picking up my guitar for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is not much. There's no reason you can't do that. And then the next day, do the same thing, another 10 minutes. You keep doing that, and then eventually, you're practicing on a consistent basis, or you even thinking playing. You don't even call it practice, just say you're playing. And then you're jamming on a cool tune or something, cool riff. And then from there, you can start to build up the amount of time each time. And the most important thing is you're building a habit, and you're building your enthusiasm by picking it up. And one more thing, the hardest thing is actually picking up your guitar. I don't know if you ever worked out or anything, but that's the hardest thing, is getting yourself motivated to go and pick up weights and start working out. And then it happens over the first little bit of times you're trying to push yourself. But once you start doing it, like after a few weeks, you're doing that consistently, all of a sudden, yeah, it's just part of the routine. It's no big deal. But it's that initial push to actually pick it up, that is really the hardest. Same with guitar. It's that initial, you come home, you're tired, you're beat, you don't feel like doing anything. It's hard to, like, oh, I don't feel like practicing. I'm just going to zombie here. That's the exact time when you need to just push yourself. You pick up the guitar, you start playing, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, cool. Oh, I forgot about that riff. Let me work on that a little bit more. And then pretty soon, before you know it, that 10 minutes turned to 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe even an hour went by. And you're like, whoa, I can't believe that time went by. And you had a good time, and you're in a much better mood, and you're full of energy, or you may be still tired, but you had a good time. And instead of just zombieing in front of the TV, some dumb program, you actually picked up the guitar and you were jamming on some tunes, and you enjoyed it. So that's it. That's all I want to really say about this. just go ahead, grab your guitar, and no matter what, practice today for 10 minutes. And that's the start. Just do that. Today, 10 minutes, no matter what. All right. So if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Otherwise, get practicing or playing. And by the way, if you just do it 10 minutes, pick something you enjoy. Don't do some boring task. Pick up a cool song you like, a little lick or something. Do that. But again, pick up that guitar today, no matter what, 10 minutes. All right. Have a good one, and we'll see you in the next one.